Paul, I'm joined by Paul Anderson, who is from the Parental Alliance. And Paul, we missed you last week, but you're very welcome this morning. Tell us about Parental Alliance and what you hope to achieve with it.
It's parental alienation.
Alienation. Yeah, I said the wrong word. Alliance.
Okay. No problem at all. Parental alienation, just in case people don't know, is really, in plain terms, is when one parent poisons the children or child against the other parent. In a marriage or a divorce or separation, one of the parents, it could be their mother or the father, usually gets custody of the children, and they would brainwash and poison the child's mind against the other parent to such an extent where they don't want to see the other parent, and yet the other parent's done nothing on them, has not been abusive, has looked after them well, and previous to the breakup has been a loving parent. And in Ireland at the moment, there are thousands of parents and children who are in this situation where the child is emotionally abused, where the other parent is coercively controlled, and there's no legislation to stop it. The judges, the solicitors, the politicians, social workers, Garda, all know about this, and there's nothing happening.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Paul. But the only thing I'd say to you is listening to some of what goes on in the children's courts and to the behaviour of some parents. I know in your press release you say not every case will say merits this, but there are in a lot of cases there is justification for it. For people not wanting their kids to associate with another parent. With the other parent.
Oh, yeah. That's parental estrangement. That's where a parent is abusive to a child or isn't looking after their welfare, and that makes sense. This is all about the welfare of a child, and it's to protect the child, obviously, from an abusive parent. Now, what is happening is the abusive parent is being allowed to look after the child and abusing them emotionally by poisoning them against a parent who has done nothing on them. So this is as bad as you're saying.
Yes, indeed. I can well believe it. And how were you going to manage? How is it proposed that you monitor this and maybe perhaps take it to court or whatever?
Well, it needs education and training.
Okay.
The main place where that would take place is with judges, with social workers, with guards, with teachers, etc. To see what the effects are. Now, the first thing in a custody or an access situation in court is why is there an argument over a child seeing a parent?
Right.
Previously, let's say I was the father or mother. I looked after the child when the other parent wasn't around, and there was no problem. And then afterwards, after the breakup or the divorce, the mother or the father says, the child doesn't want to see that parent.
Right.
What has happened in between? So the only thing that's happened in between is that the bitterness, the hatred, the emotional abuse by the parent, and usually the custodial parent, is emotionally brainwashing that child to hate the other parent. Now that child still loves that parent, but they're split. One side of them is saying, I love that parent. The other side of them saying, oh, but that parent is dangerous. That parent hates me. That parent pays no money towards me, or whatever is being fed into their brain. And they're living in custody, in jail, basically, with the custodial parent who's brainwashing and conditioning them against a parent who's done nothing on them. All they've done is they've separated or they've broken up from the other parent. And it's a very easy question that a judge could ask at the start of any custody or access arrangement where the mother or the father say the child doesn't want to go with that parent, is why is this happening? And then straight away, therapy services and counselling, mediation services can be put in there, instead of what's happening now where people are going to court 30, 40, 50, 60 times to get to see their child. The other parent is breaking the court orders and saying to the judge, oh, the child doesn't want to see that parent, or they're saying the child is sick. And the longer they don't see that parent, the longer that conditioning and alienation sets in, and the more destructive in the mind of the child that gets, like, that is abuse that affects the child for the rest of their life, and affects how they relate to society, how they relate to a male or a female, or in future relationships.
Paul, what research have you done on this issue, around this issue? And are there numbers available?
There's worldwide research.
But in Ireland, have you done research in Ireland, or?
You can't, because the courts are secret. They're in-camera courts. So you could get a judgment by a judge in Castlebar and a judge in Donegal, and it could be complete opposite. Similar situations, they could be the complete opposite decision, because one judge knows about parental alienation and the other doesn't.
Right.
So this is what's happening, because it's in camera, it's not reported in the papers. Because the parents can't go on the radio. I'm not an alienated parent, by the way. I'm campaigning for alienated parents, and they've said to me, can you speak for us? Because if we speak on radio, we'll go to jail, because we'll be breaking the in-camera law rule. And that's why this issue isn't out there. Okay.
Paul, but one of the things the first thing that happens in breakup, divorce or whatever, is that one party is extremely angry. And would it not be better maybe to counsel that anger and for counselling and to help sort that side of it out first?
It would all come together, but why should the child not see the parent? Why should the non-custodial parent have to deal with the anger of the other parent abusing that child that they are in custody of? That has to be dealt with. That's all part of the process, of course. That parent would have to go to get anger management. It'd have to get parenting course, go on a parenting course to show how to parent the child, not to badmouth the other parent, how to parent separately, and possibly for the child, like two loving parents who are separated and divorced can bring up children just as well, as two that are together in a house, that are living together, if they do it properly.
Paul, what about you might sort out the partner or the former partner or spouse or whatever, but what about their extended family being angry and turning the kids against the other partner? They have to be educated too. And what also happens is that one family, just because that parent is alienated against, his or her whole family is also alienated. Like there's grandparents out there that are not seeing their grandchildren because of this. Yes.
The grandchildren are actually being poisoned as well against the grandparents. They're saying, oh, they're the bad side of the family. They're dangerous.
Don't talk to them.
Don't talk to them. And it's affecting society and community at all levels. And it's totally wrong. It's evil, really.
It is indeed. I appreciate that. Paul, what's the next steps for your association, for your group?
Well, the group is busy campaigning, right, to TDs, counsellors, posting on social media. During the election, we wrote to all the TDs about it. Before the election, we started up a county council campaign where we got Donegal County Council was the first council in the south to pass a motion to address and recognise parental alienation, as it is in the sites of the World Health Organization, and also a recent recommendation that's been done by the Family Law Review, where it would be looked at and legislated. So in the south, we have 16 councils that have unanimously passed motions, and the Mayo is one of them, which is great. and they've been proposed by councillors from Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Sinn Féin, Independents, Greens. It's been unanimous, because once people hear and learn that this is happening, they know that it's an abuse, that it's wrong, and it has to be dealt with. There's no point in condoning it and turning a blind eye to it anymore,
Okay, Paul, so just to finish up, this is the start of your campaign. First of all, it's supposed to make people aware of it and then move on to get it legislated against.
Yeah, well, the idea of the motion is to get the Irish government to recognise parental alienation so that it'll be in law, that the health services and TUSLA, which doesn't recognise, if you go to the TUSLA website, for instance, and you search for the term parental alienation, it doesn't come up once.
Right.
Last year in the Dáil, there was three written questions about parental alienation by Pierce Doherty, Donegal TV, which weren't answered straight by the health service, by the health minister, and also there recently the Minister of Justice. This is hilarious. As it basically said that there isn't enough evidence about it. Yet there's worldwide evidence. The World Health Organization recognizes it. So why can't the Irish government organize it? In the north, the Minister of Health has recently stated that it's a method of coercive control and domestic abuse, and that they're going to legislate for it in the future. So why can't the Irish government do something about it when they know this abuse is happening? They need to measure it, because there's no way of measuring it that alienated parents can do, because it's a